Hello, this is Matthew Hawken, and I'm excited to share with you my ePortfolio today. Just want to go through a few of the things that you'll find in my ePortfolio and hope to share with you some of the experiences that I had in doing my administrator hours. I'm so grateful for the opportunity that I had to go through this practicum and the experiences that I gained did so much for me to prepare me for my future as an education leader. Just want to start with showing my candidate information. If you look, one of the first things you'll see is my philosophy of education. A lot of it has to do with, my statement is that effective school leadership is accomplished through understanding of standards and an ability to personally connect with others. I think that's so important to have those two main things as the basis of being able to be competent in what you're doing as an administrator, and to be able to personally connect with those around you. I think those are two of the most important things that administrators need to have and to cultivate as they continue into the profession. If you look further, you'll be able to see my plan of study. As you can see here in just a moment, that I have been able to accomplish all of the classes that were required through the program. Gained a lot from all of them, and I really enjoyed the classes. I loved the web-based courses and all of the, not only the knowledge that I got, but the information I got about the free web-based resources that is pushed so much at Fort Hays State University, and a lot of the things I will be using in the future, things that I want to share with with staff and with students as well. So you'll be able to see that I was able to complete all of the required courses. The last one, which is utilization of technology, I will be finishing here in about 2 or 3 weeks, and that is the last one that I am doing at this time, which will complete all of the courses. If you look further, you'll be able to see my resume, and it will show you some of my accomplishments that I've had thus far, and my plan is to attain employment as a school administrator. I have my master's in education administration at Fort Hays that I am currently attaining, which I hope to attain here in the next few weeks, and all of the other things that I have accomplished. Going here into the activity level, I got elementary, secondary, and district. Mine might be a little bit different than others that you have seen, because what I did was I took the evidence of some big projects that took me a lot of time. My activity level for elementary and secondary is the same thing, and it is a duty roster. This may look like a simple Excel spreadsheet, but I assure you that it took hours and hours of planning and replanning and seeing what worked and what didn't. I basically had to take the all the duties, whether it be recess, the loop duty, homework club of our K-12 school. We're a kindergarten through 12th grade school, of all of the staff, teachers, paraprofessionals, secretaries, everything, and put them in the schedule where they could do their duties. And I had to keep in mind all of the different plan times, the different schedules of everybody, and it was one of the first things that my boss was excited to give to me, to hand off to me, and she said, "You'll learn a lot." And I tell you, I learned not only, like I said, this is not only for elementary, but it's for secondary as well. I have the same spreadsheet there because it was being advising elementary and secondary teachers. I learned the logistics that go into being an administrator, the hours that are put in. Oftentimes, people don't realize. I know I didn't realize how much time administrators put in just to make these simple schedules. I also learned that you're not going to make everybody happy. Somebody's always going to be a little bit unhappy when you're dealing with this many people, and that was a new concept for me. It's something that I had to kind of wrap my head around, that you're just going to have to understand that no matter what you do, somebody's not going to be specifically happy with the decision that you made. And I think that's a big part of being an administrator. I mean, you do want to try to make people happy, but you want to put the success of all students first, and sometimes people aren't going to be happy with the decision you made, and that's something that my boss told me, that when you make decisions as a leader, you are just you're going to have to just plan on somebody not being thrilled with the decision that you made. And I think that's something that this experience has given me, that realization, and something that I've got to learn to overcome, and something that I feel like, because of my field experience, that I've been able to deal with. The next one, on the district level, one of my biggest projects that I was put in charge of was the school calendar. It didn't upload the way I wanted in the actual spreadsheet, as you can see there. It didn't quite upload right, so I wanted to take a screenshot so you can see the finished product. And again, this was many hours of work that went into doing this as well. I had to see how many teacher work days, how many student contact days we had to have. I had to make sure the holidays and literacy testing and professional development days were all lined up as well. And this was another one that my boss was pretty excited, I think, to have me work on. And I was able to work quite a bit with Excel. And again, it's one of those things that it's a lot of responsibility. A lot of people are going to be looking at that for the next year. And people are going to be scrutinizing it, and people, might not be too thrilled with it. But I've learned as an administrator is that you want to make the best decision possible, and I'm all about input. And that's one thing I had to do with the duty roster, was I had to present it in a staff meeting with all of the duties of the staff and things like that. And when I presented it to them, I'll just kind of go back to that so you can see that again. When I presented it to them, my boss turned the time over to me, and I was standing in front of probably about 30-40 people. And I talked to them. This is what it is. If you have an issue, and you want to trade with somebody, you just need to let me know. But I made sure that they knew that you come to me with a solution. You don't come to me with a problem. And I wanted to make that very clear. And I think by making that clear, it helps people to understand that they need to figure out their problem and then come talk to me. I'm more than happy to help and assist somebody, but I just didn't want somebody to come up to me and say, I don't like this. I'm more about having them come up to me and say, this doesn't work for me, but this is what I've come up with. And I think by doing that, I think it saved me a lot of headaches. So doing that duty roster and the schedule, like I said, those are the main things that I wanted to show you, because they were some of my biggest projects that took several hours to complete. And I'm grateful for them. They were challenging, extremely challenging at times, but I learned a lot, and I think it's going to serve me well as an administrator. Going on to my reports, my activity form. Let's see, the activity log, which is all the hours that I have inputted. So if you look at the log sheet, you'll be able to see all of the hours that I put in, and it is pretty unbelievable to see this all in one Excel spreadsheet after a while. All of the time that I put in. I started quite a while ago with some good advice that I got from Dr. Moody, was to start early and to get going on it. So as you can see, it started a while ago, and I was able to line up all of the ISLLC standards to what I did. Wait for it to load a little bit. But I was able to line up all the standards. There's some board meetings I went to. I was put in charge of the Saturday School program, which was the disciplinaries program for students that had to come to school on Saturday, and I learned a lot from that. Not being the nice guy, I had to make sure that they were working through their punishments. Was able to sit in and actually interview our third grade teacher and our next athletic director, which I think was an invaluable experience as well. Really enjoyed doing that. Was able to kind of determine who the next teacher should be and have my input as well. That was invaluable. The duty scheduling, a few board meetings in there, one from the district, where we had to present what we are doing as a charter school to the district that we are under their umbrella. Some of the biggest ones was shadowing my principal for the day. I shadowed a principal up in Fort Collins as well, a blue ribbon nationally recognized school. I wanted to see what he was doing, was able to talk with him and follow him around. I was able to follow my own principal around for the day, and I tell you, that was a real eye-opener. I really enjoyed that. really realized how many different directions you're pulled in a day as an administrator, and decisions you need to make on an instant's notice. Big part of that is, at the end of that day, my boss had to leave, and she just said, Matt, good luck. You're the administrator for the rest of the day. And so she walked out, and I was, in that principal seat. It was pretty overwhelming, but it was a great experience. I led the administrator meeting for that afternoon. Was able to see kind of what was going on and the different in our elementary and middle school and the athletic department. That was a really, really great experience as well. So as you can see, you look through all of the experiences I did. I met the requirements for elementary, secondary, and district, the amount of activities, and met the 150-hour limit as well. Let's see, and I went through and made sure every single ISLLC standard was met as well through all of my activities. So feel free to take a look at that. I also have, my administrator evaluation. My boss and my field supervisor, Dr. Cindy Compton, was happy to sign it, and she really helped me out a lot, and it really gave me opportunities to grow and really to make decisions and to really include me as part of being an administrator. I'm grateful for that. I know probably not many people have a boss that is so willing, but mine was so willing and excited for me to step into this role as an administrator. So I'm very, very grateful for her and for the support that she gave me along the way. If you look in here, you will see my bibliography. It was great to I looked in several articles and was able to line a lot of them up with the experiences that I was going through. There's a lot out there. A lot of it was about charter school and our funding issues, which I was we talked about a lot during my hours. Also school discipline, which was something that I had to deal with, with Saturday school and with understanding, how to effectively discipline a student. So if you want to look through those, and I gave 10, and I was able to give explanations for each of them and why I included them in my bibliography as well. And then if you look at the end, you'll be able to see my reflection, and I went through all of the stages of the reflection process as well. And this is a really great opportunity for me, I feel, to be able to really reflect on what I learned from this experience. It's so much more than just putting in 150 hours. It's making it meaningful, and for me to really just think of what I learned, and how the ISLLC standards influenced a lot of what I did, and how I want how they affected me in making decisions as a school administrator. It was a really, really great experience, and I'm so grateful. Definitely take the time to read through that as well in my reflection, and just want to thank so much Fort Hays State for this opportunity. I really, really feel that I gained a lot. I feel much more confident about stepping into the role as an administrator after going through this process. Being able to kind of sit in those situations and to really understand and go through what an administrator goes through is something that I'll carry with me as I step into this role. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I know there's a lot left still for me to learn as I step into this role, but I do feel confident that I will be able to handle this responsibility as I step into this into the career as a school administrator. Thank you.